Your car's AC isn't working right, and you think the Blend Door Actuator might be to blame. You're not sure how to test it or fix it, but don't worry, we'll show you how. Sometimes the Blend Door Actuator can malfunction, which can result in the heated air failing to enter the passenger area. Speaking from experience, I can tell you this is a very frustrating problem to have. I'll discuss the symptoms of a bad actuator so you can figure out if that's the part that needs replacing. What's a Blend Door Actuator? You will typically find a Blend Door Actuator in a car or truck that does not have a traditional mechanical link used to move the passenger and driver side blend doors. The vehicle must have a heating, ventilation, and air conditioning (HVAC) system with manual controls. A typical Blend Door Actuator moves one way for defrosting and another for cooling. A Blend Door Actuator usually has a small motor inside it to operate the doors, but the HVAC is controlled by an electronic control unit (ECU) that uses vacuum lines and electrical connectors to move the blend doors. Blend Door Actuators are normally not serviced per se. They simply fail when their internal motor or gears wear out. These parts are no longer available separately from the manufacturer. A Blend Door Actuator ensures all cabin air is conditioned before entering into the vehicle's passenger compartment. If the blower fan is operating in recirculate mode with fresh air turned off and the heater or air conditioner set to full blast, you need a Blend Door Actuator working properly. When this actuator fails, it can no longer move the blend door to turn on recirculate mode. A car or truck with a failed Blend Door Actuator will have an air conditioner that blows air directly into the cabin. That is, you set the temperature for 70°F and full heat, but all you feel is cold air because there's no way to direct this heater hoses into or away from the passenger compartment. It just blasts out everywhere. There will likely be no heat blowing out of your vents at all if this happens, just very cold air. A broken Blend Door Actuator also prevents proper defrosting capabilities, which means your windows can fog up easily during the winter months. Furthermore, without defrosting working properly, you can also experience an increased amount of ice buildup on your windows during the winter. This is because water vapor that passes through the blower fan and evaporator will freeze as it reaches the dicer grid located in front of the AC evaporator core. If your mixed door actuator goes bad, you should have a service shop replace it immediately to avoid any more adverse effects from a faulty Blend Door Actuator. What are the symptoms of a bad blend door actuator? A Blend Door Actuator may have a few different symptoms. The first one is that the heater will blow cold air, even when you have it set to hot. Another symptom is that your AC will also blow cold air instead of the warm or hot air, which is what it's supposed to do. If a Blend Door Actuator goes bad, there won't be enough vacuum going to the mix door, and the car won't heat up properly or cool properly because it isn't getting enough current going to the heater core or evaporator core, depending on whether it's winter or summer. When this happens, people usually notice fog forming on the windows, as well as ice building up much faster than normal, which makes sense if you don't have a defroster working at all. The car will also likely run rough, and the heater will work sometimes, but not others. How do I test the Blend Door Actuator? Blend Door Actuators do not have definite testing procedures. That said, the following are some suggestions for trying to test them. Clean all of the electrical connections that are bolted to or integral with the heater case. Remove any wire harnesses that are plugged into the heater case so they can be moved out of your way during testing. If you don't have enough slack in the harness, simply unplug it. Do not cut or damage anything. On Chrysler Ford vent-type systems, check inside the passenger compartment for a vacuum hose running from inside the dash to near where the actuator is installed on top of the plenum, noted below. If it is there, disconnect it at both ends and plug secure each end. On GM systems, look for a vacuum hose that runs from near where the actuator is installed on top of the plenum into the interior right below your glove box. Pull up on the plastic frame inside under your glove box to release it from its lower retaining clips, and move it out of your way to gain easier access to this hose. Again, disconnect at both ends and plug secure each end. On Nissan or Toyota systems, pull off any hoses you see at or near where you think the actuator may be located. Carefully push them out of the way, if possible, so they are not damaged during testing. Locate an automotive stethoscope. Do not attempt testing without one. Brass ones work best. Hold your ear against the back of the case with your left hand and place the stethoscope head against the outside front surface of the heater case, noted below. You will probably have to switch back and forth between using your right ear and your left ear since you are working by yourself up on top of your plenum. Crank up your engine enough so that it gets about as warm as it does when you drive around during hot weather, or turn on your defroster during cold weather, but make sure it doesn't actually start blowing hot air. If you can hear through the stethoscope, listen carefully for a buzzing sound. This is normal. It usually only lasts for a few seconds. If no buzzing is heard, the actuator is probably faulty and should be replaced. If you do hear a buzzing sound, wait until it stops, and then place your stethoscope on different areas of the outside front surface of the heater case while continuing to crank up your engine until it starts blowing hot air again. When you hear buzzing coming from someplace other than where you just heard it, that's your cue to stop cranking up your engine. The location of the buzz, relative to where you first heard it, will provide a clue as to what part or assembly is bad. The actuator itself, the wiring harness, plug connectors, vacuum lines, or any type of electrical connection between these parts/assemblies and each other. At this point, you may be able to confirm the problem by tapping on the heater case with a flat-tip screwdriver or something similar while listening through your stethoscope. If it starts buzzing, this confirms that any of the parts assemblies you just tested and their respective electrical connections are bad. If tapping stops the buzzing but it returns again when you stop tapping, then one or more of these parts or assemblies is probably good and your actuator needs replacement. On some automotive systems, typically older ones, instead of hearing a buzz, you will hear a click. This means something has opened up due to increased thermal expansion, such as an internal door in the actuator. Sometimes all that's required on these systems is for someone to disconnect the battery and let everything cool down, or you can do it yourself if your system makes this possible. Note: although not necessary when using a stethoscope, if your vehicle is equipped with heater controls in the center of its dash, you may find it helpful to have someone turn them fully clockwise against their stops while you conduct this test. This will most likely stop any air from blowing, since most systems usually won't produce hot air unless control is turned counterclockwise a minimum amount. This exposes all components being tested to heat. Note: if tapping produces no change in noise level followed by clicking, then an internal door has opened up due to increased thermal expansion, meaning the actuator needs replacement. On some automotive systems, instead of hearing a click, you will hear a ratcheting noise. This means something has opened up due to decreased thermal contraction, such as an internal door in the actuator. Sometimes all that's required on these systems is for someone to disconnect the battery and let everything cool down, or you can do it yourself if your system makes this possible. How to replace a blend door actuator. In order to replace a blend door actuator, you will need an 8mm socket for the screws on the front of your heater box and a small flat blade screwdriver. The procedure is as follows. Step 1. Disconnect the negative battery cable from your vehicle. This just protects you from any electrical surge that could occur while working in there. Step 2. Remove the glove box by pulling it out and then up to disengage it from its retaining knobs. Once open, remove all contents from inside of glove box and set aside for safekeeping. Step 3. Unplug the wiring harness going to the heater core located behind where the glove box used to be. It is usually held in place a plastic clip that can be pulled out to allow the plug to be pulled free of its socket. Step 4. Remove the air filter assembly by removing the 2 retaining screws you will see once you peer up into this area. Now look down at where your glove box used to be, and there is a black plastic piece that covers most of this section. This piece is held in place with 4 to 10mm bolts depending on year, make, model, vehicle. Remove all 4 to 10mm bolts, then remove the black plastic cover. Step 5. You should see an area about 6 and wide by 3 high behind where the glove box used to be, which has HVAC printed on it, which stands for heater ventilation air conditioning. There are 6 8mm bolts holding this area in place. Remove all of them and set them aside, as you will need to pull this small section out from the main assembly, as well as pull it back a little bit so that you can access the blend door actuator. Step 6. Once all 8mm bolts have been removed, carefully pull back on the HVAC assembly just a little bit, and then disengage the black plastic sleeve from its metal retaining clips by prying a flat blade screwdriver between them and pushing down until they pop off. Be careful not to damage any of these clips because if you do, your entire AC system will blow warm air and pretty much act like your heater is jacked up. You may need to use more than one screwdriver to release clips. Once you get that sleeve off, set it aside. Step 7. Now you can see where the Blend Door Actuator is located. It's about 6 wide by 3 tall and mounted on the side of this black plastic area. There are 2 8mm hex head bolts holding the Blend Door Actuator in place, so undo them and pull out the old part by pulling up on it while working your way around all edges to detach any remaining wiring harnesses, etc. Just don't yank it too hard because there are many other things back there that could break if you do. Step 8. Replace with a new one and reinstall everything in exact reverse order, making sure not to skip over steps or forget anything. Reconnect negative battery cable once all other parts are replaced. Your vehicle may have a Blend Door Actuator located in different locations, or your vehicle may not even use this part at all. But the steps are essentially the same, no matter where this part is located or what type of vehicle you own. The main things to remember are disconnecting the negative battery cable before working on anything in there, and always going ahead and replacing anything that is questionable or might cause problems down the road when it's beyond simple to do so. I hope this video helped. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and follow so you don't miss any of my videos.